is Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears by Verna Ardema and pictures by Leo and Diane Dillon. Okay? So, first of all, let's look at the cover art. Now, by looking at the cover art, I want you to think, where do you think this story is going to take place? Okay? Now I want you to think, what parts of this cover art make you think that? Now turn and talk.
I think it's going to take place in Africa, because I think there's a lot of mosquitoes in the jungle in Africa.
Yeah, and I saw some of the foliage, and it looked like a jungle, so it makes me think of, and I saw a giraffe too, so...
Oh yeah.
So who wants to share their idea with the class? Yes, Raquel?
I think it's Africa. Chris and I think it's Africa because there's like a tiger and a giraffe.
That's a really wonderful assumption. You know where I think it could also be? It could also be in a zoo, right? These could be the animals in the zoo. That could be the zookeeper. So we don't know, so we're going to have to go further to really find out, right? So let's look a little further. We're going to look at the title page now. Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears, a West African Tale. Raquel and Chris were right. Retold by Verna Ardama and pictures by Leo and Diane Dillon. Now, I happen to know that this is a folk tale. And the reason I chose a folk tale to talk about themes is because folk tales usually have a very specific kind of thing called a moral. And a moral is a story. It's where it teaches you about how you should or should not behave. Okay? That's the kind of theme this is going to have. So while we're reading this, I want you to think about what the theme, the moral of the story, what is this is telling you about how you should or should not behave. Okay? We'll discuss lots of things as we go through, and afterwards you're going to write about it. So let's start. One morning, a mosquito saw an iguana drinking at a water hole. The mosquito said, "Iguana, you will never believe what I saw yesterday." "Try me," said the iguana. The mosquito said, "I saw a farmer digging yams that were almost as big as I am." "What's a mosquito compared to a yam?" snapped the iguana grumpily. "I would rather be deaf than listen to such nonsense." Then he stuck 2 sticks in his ears and went off, meck, 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 through the reeds. Sticks. Have you ever stuck sticks in your ears before? What is that? The iguana was still grumbling to himself when he happened to pass by a python. The big snake raised his head and said, "Good morning, iguana." The iguana did not answer, but lumbered on, bobbing his head, bada-min, bada-min. "Now, why won't he speak to me?" said the python to himself. "Iguana must be angry about something. I'm afraid he's plotting some mischief against me." He began looking for somewhere to hide. The first likely place he found was a rabbit hole, and in it he went, wasu-wasu, wasu-wasu, wasu-wasu. When the rabbit saw the big snake coming into her burrow, she was terrified. She scurried out through her back way and bounded, crick, 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 across the clearing. So, think in your head, why did the iguana not answer back when the python said good morning to him? Now, what specific detail in the story made you think that? Now turn and talk.
What do you think, Chris?
I can't remember.
Who wants to share their ideas? Victoria.
He didn't hear the snake because he had sticks in his ears because he didn't want to listen to the mosquito.
That's absolutely right, Victoria. I'm so pleased with you raising your hand. It's a red letter day. A crow saw the rabbit running for her life. He flew into the forest crying, "Caw, caw, caw!" It was his duty to spread the alarm in case of danger. A monkey heard the crow. He was sure that some dangerous beast was prowling near. He began screeching and leaping keely-weely through the trees to help warn the other animals. As the monkey was crashing through the treetops, he happened to land on a dead limb. It broke and fell on an owl's nest, killing one of the owlets. Mother Owl was not at home, for though she usually hunted only in the night, this morning she was still out searching for one more tidbit to satisfy her hungry babies. When she returned to the nest, she found one of them dead. Her other children told her that the monkey had killed it. All that day and all that night she sat in her tree, so sad, so sad, so sad. Now it was Mother Owl who woke the sun each day so that the dawn could come. But this time, when she should have hooted for the sun, she did not do it. The night grew longer and longer. The animals of the forest knew it was lasting much too long. They feared that the sun would never come back. Okay, so now I want you to think. What do you think is going to happen next in the story? Now I want you to think. What specific things that have happened so far make you think that? Now turn and talk.
I think the owl is gonna wake up and hoot, and the sun will finally wake up.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but I was worried that the sun might not come back up.
And then it would be night.
Forever.
Forever.
I'm hearing lots of really good ideas. So who wants to share their ideas with class? Amy, good. We haven't heard from you.
I think she's gonna hunt down the monkey.
Amy, I'm so glad you decided to participate. That's wonderful. You think she's going to go hunt down that monkey?
Yes.
What would make you think that she's going to do that in the story?
The monkey killed her son
And how did she know that?
because he lied dead on her nest.
Okay, but her babies.
Her babies.
Yes, there you go. Very sweet. You got to remember when you've writing about this, you've got to give specific examples. But that's very good. Does anybody think anything different is going to happen? Yes.
Chris and I think that it's going to be night forever.
It's going to be night forever, right? If the owl doesn't hoot, the sun will never rise, right? And it could stay night, and she could hunt down the monkey. So let's read on and find out what's going to happen. Doesn't everybody want to know? I want to know. At last, King Lion called a meeting of the animals. They came and sat down, pem, 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 around a council fire. Mother Owl did not come, so the antelope was sent to fetch her. When she arrived, King Lion asked, "Mother Owl, why have you not called the sun? The night has lasted long, 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 and everyone is worried." Mother Owl said, "Monkey killed one of my owlets. Because of that, I cannot bear to wake the sun." The king said to the gathered animals, "Did you hear? It was the monkey who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so that the day can come." Then King Lion called the monkey. He came before him nervously, glancing from side to side. Rim, 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 rim. "Monkey," said the king, "why did you kill one of Mother Owl's babies?" "Oh, king," said the monkey, "it was the crow's fault. He was calling and calling to warn us of danger, and I went leaping through the trees to help. A limb broke under me and fell, on the owl's nest." The king said to the council, "So it was the crow who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so that the day can come." Then the king called for the crow. That big bird came flapping up. He said, "King Lion, it was the rabbit's fault. I saw her running for her life in the daytime. Wasn't that reason enough to spread an alarm?" The king nodded his head and said to the council, "So it was the rabbit who startled the crow, who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so that the day can come." The king lion called the rabbit. The timid little creature stood before him, one trembling paw drawn up uncertainly. "Rabbit," cried the king, "why did you break a law of nature and go running, running, running in the daytime?" "Oh, king," said the rabbit, "it was the python's fault. I was in my house minding my own business when that big snake came in and chased me out." The king said to the council, "So it was the python who scared the rabbit, who startled the crow, who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet, And now the mother owl won't wake the sun so that the day can come. King Lion called the python, who came slithering wasu-wasu, wasa-wasu, past the other animals. But King, he cried, it was the iguana's fault. He wouldn't speak to me, and I thought he was plotting some mischief against me. When I crawled into the rabbit's hole, I was only trying to hide. The king said to the council, so it was the iguana who frightened the python, who scared the rabbit, who startled the crow, who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so that the day may come. Now the iguana was not at the meeting, for he had not heard the summons. Why do you think he hadn't heard the summons?
He had sticks in his
He had sticks in his ears. The antelope was sent to fetch him. All the animals laughed when they saw the iguana coming, bada-min, with the sticks still stuck in his ears. King Lion pulled out the sticks, purr-up, purr-up. Then he asked, Iguana, what evil have you been plotting against the python? None, none at all, cried the iguana. Python is my friend. Then why wouldn't you say good morning to me, demanded the snake. I didn't hear you or even see you, said the iguana. Mosquito told me such a big lie, I couldn't bear to listen to it, so I put sticks in my ears. Neh, 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 laughed the lion. So that's why you had sticks in your ears. Yes, said the iguana, it was the mosquito's fault. King Lion said to the council, so it was the mosquito who annoyed the iguana, who frightened the python, who scared the rabbit, who startled the crow, who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet. And now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so that the day can come. Okay, so I want you to think of all the things that have happened, and I want you to think, what do you think is going to happen next? And then I want you to think, what specific things in the story have happened that make you think that? Now turn and talk.
I think that the owl is finally going to hoot and the sun will come out because all the way going back through all the animals, the iguana's sticks have been pulled out of their ears.
Yes. And I saw on the page that the sun was kind of starting to rise, like it was around the iguana, it was really dark. But then on the next page, it was starting to get bright.
So,
A lot of good ideas. Who wants to share one with the class? Chris, we haven't heard from you.
Okay, well, I was looking at the pictures, and, I think that the sun's eventually going to come back up because the iguana got the sticks out of his ears, and he was the source of the problem. And on the next page, you can see the sky turns blue on the right side.
Oh, look at that.
So I think it's foreshadowing the sun coming back up.
Foreshadow. Wow, what a big word for a third grader. That's great. Well, who wants to find out what happens? We all want to find out, don't we? Maybe not Raquel. Okay, let's find out what happens. Punish the mosquito, cried all the animals. When Mother Owl heard that, she was satisfied. She turned her head towards the east and hooted. Let's all do it. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And the sun came up. Meanwhile, the mosquito had listened to it all from a nearby bush. She crept under a curly leaf, and was never found and brought before the council. But because this mosquito has a guilty conscience, to this day she goes about whining in people's ears, see, is everyone still angry at me? When she does that, she gets an honest answer. Kapow! Because what do we do when a mosquito lands on us anywhere? We hit it, right? Okay, so remember we're focusing on theme. There's one thing I want you to discuss before that. I want you to think of one thing that could have happened differently in the story that would have changed the whole